as the last strand of my hair fell weightlessly onto the white cotton cloth that I knelt on painfully on the jagged concrete patio, I realized something profound. I was bald. It was then that I realized that I completed Shinryu, a rite of passage for Burmese boys into monkhood. In traditional Shinryu, Burmese boys are suited up in silk attire, lavished with gold, and paraded around town, similarly mounted on a decorated horse. In stark contrast, I strolled through that monastery wearing a white t-shirt, basketball shorts, and the back of a Honda CR-V. Due to my elegant entrance, I was ordained as the fresh monk of Manappaland, New Jersey, given a new name, Shin Washawa. There were 4 of us, including my brother and myself, and we learned that through common practices, that being a monk was more than just shaving your head and wearing a red toga every day. It was more than just meditating. It was practicing what you believed. It was commonplace for a temple to adopt an animal, let it roam as it pleases, come by when it wants, and leave when it wishes. Our temple was no different. Specifically, there was one cat that liked to roam and eat with us, sleep with us, but the main key thing was that when it created tension, it created a sort of chaos. The head monks never really addressed it by name. And it was a very unique situation. We delved further into our monastic teachings and we realized that to name something was to possess it, to control it, something that defied the very rituals, values, and principles that we embodied. Now that was an amazing, amazing revelation that wouldn't really speak volumes to me until much later. You see, up until a week ago, I went by the name John. But recently I've adopted the name Ares. And a year ago I went by Jonathan. Several years prior I went by Yemen, my birth name as a Burmese child. I never really stood by John, and I couldn't really figure out why. I realized that throughout my time at Stuyvesant, I've consistently started to grow a sort of antagonism towards my own name. It was until one day that I realized that I didn't like Jonathan because it was and will never be my name. When I was 6 years old, my family and I came here to escape a dictatorial military junta from Burma. At that point, our uncle gave us a choice of 2 names to choose between. And when you pit Arthur against Jonathan, there was clearly a much stronger choice to make. But past that point, I didn't align with John. At that time, I was Yemen Hain, which quickly translates to strong and brave king. I appreciated that name, and I appreciated the name John, but it wasn't who I am. It was like playing a role in a movie. You knew that that was your name, but you had to force yourself to respond to it. Lately, I chose the name Ares, and I'm not going to say that that was out of years of constituent thinking and forging my name out of Buddhist ideals and practices. No, it's because I like Greek mythology, but the idea still stands. It's who I stand by because what the Buddhist monks taught me was that naming something is to possess it, to control it. But it's not until you reach a certain point that you realize that your name is your identity, something that you align by, that you're always on its side. The monks taught me that to name myself, to name anything was to possess it, was to control it, but they forgot one key part. To name something was to cherish it for what it was, to recognize the potential of what it could be. And for that, I am glad to say I have finally named myself.